Okay, here's a really interesting problem. It is number 51 from section 1.1 exercises in Sullivan's Precalculus, 9th edition, and it says geometry. The medians of a triangle are the line segments from each vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. See the figure, I'm just going to say, see this figure. Find the lengths of the medians of the triangle with vertices at A is equal to 0, 0, B is equal to 6, 0, and C is equal to 4, 4. So I'm going to explain medians first. Medians are the lines from the one vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of the opposite side. Exactly how it's stated. So for example, I drew the midpoints on this triangle, which are denoted by separating two equally length sides. So a median would be this, would be a line from this vertex to this midpoint. Another median, every triangle has three vertexes and three midpoints, so there's going to be three medians to every triangle. There's one, and oops, my gosh, that was terrible. I'll start here. Then there's this one. Alright, so these are medians. And it says to find the lengths of the medians of this triangle. This triangle. I drew it here, points A, B, and C. So our job is to first find the medians, which should be here, here, and here. And after that, find the length from this point to this median, this point to this median, and this point to that median. So we're going to do that. So let's start by finding the midpoint from A to B. And the midpoint, remember, is just the average of the x's and the average of the y's. So the average of B and A is 6 plus 0 is 6 over 2 is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And they don't move vertically, so the average would be 0. Here's the midpoint between A and B. So I'm just going to say midpoint subscript A, B. And that is 3, 0. And now between C and B. Not as easy, but we can do it. So the average of the x's, 4 plus 6 is 10, over 2 is 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to say it's right here, which looks like 2. Well, let's find out. Yeah, 4 plus 0 is 4, over 2 is 2. So this is the midpoint of C and B, which is, what did I say? 5 and 2. Good. So now the midpoint between A and C. So 4 plus 0 is 4, over 2 is 2, and 4 plus 0 is 4, over 2 is 2. So it's at 2 and 2, which looks about right. So this is the midpoint between A and C, which is 2, 2. Alright, so we found the midpoints. Easy enough. Now we need to find the distance between C and midpoint AB, and we need to find the distance between A and midpoint CB, and we need to find the distance between B and midpoint AC. That was really bad. Why do I always have trouble with that one? Good. Alright, so let's start with this line, C to M subscript AB. Distance formula says distance is equal to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. We'll say this is x2, y2, and we'll say this is x1, y1. So 4 minus 3 squared plus 4 minus 0, which is just 4 squared. So that's equal to 4 minus 3 is 1, 1 squared is 1, plus 4 squared is 16. So the length of this is root 17. And I'm just going to write that. Root 17. Oops. Hopefully that doesn't bother you guys. Root 17. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to redo this in blue. We're going to find the distance of this blue line from MCB to A. Okay, so MCB, the midpoint, I'll just make x2 and y2, and I'll make this x1 and y1. So distance is equal to x2 minus 0, which is 5 squared, plus y2, which is 2, minus 0, which is 2 squared. And that's equal to square root 25. 2 squared is 4. So this is equal to square root of 29. And I believe we can simplify that a little. Let me get my calculator. Handy dandy calculator. So 29. Actually, I don't think. No, we can't. Okay. So never mind. Square root of 29 is all we're going to leave it as. Square root 29. I got to make this smaller. Okay. So this distance is square root 29. These are some weird lengths here. I'm going to recolor this brown from B to midpoint AC. That's going to be a number. So we'll say this is x2, y2, and this is x1, y1. So we have 6 minus 2 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared, which gets 6 minus 2 is 4, squared is 16. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So this is equal to square root 20. And that can be simplified. So 20 is broken up to 2 and 10, 2 and 5, so 2 root 5. Okay. Those are the distances of the medians in this particular triangle. And those are the answers.